Where do I begin? It has been exactly 1 week of Daimler ownership and it has been absolutely chaos because in the last week everything's gone wrong and the car will now not start. I don't even have the car here at my flat. It's actually stuck at work, so I cannot get it home because I drove it there and now it won't start and I can't get it back. I'm going to throw it back to exactly 1 week ago where you guys last saw the car, when it was in the car park and we just got it back, because the morning after is when everything all went wrong. Go on then. We're having starting issues again. If you saw the first video of picking up the Daimler, you would have seen that there were starting issues with the Daimler. We got it back. We're back at square one. It's not starting again. So let's see if we can figure it out, because this is really pulling my hair out. Now, I'm going to run everyone through the following checks that we have done. When you crank the car, you can hear the fuel pumps engage. So the fuel pumps are working. You can smell fuel in the engine bay. We are going to try and crack one of the nipples loose, see if fuel comes out, and do that. We took one of the leads off the distributor and there was no spark coming out. So we took the distributor apart, checked the rotor arm. It's all there, it's all intact, all kind of working as it should, but no spark. It seems like the problem is no spark. Now, if the engine doesn't get a good or happy battery time, good ground or enough power, it tends to cut the spark, which is what we think the problem is. We're just going to work through everything we can try and get through and figure out what is going on. The first thing we done is we cracked that high pressure fuel line off and we primed the car and fuel went everywhere. So the car is getting fuel. It is just purely no spark. Why this is happening, we do not know. After we tried everything, we checked all the grounds for the car. We sanded all the grounds, all the contact points, made it absolutely spotless. We put it back together and gave it a go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
That's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Word to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the...
We were absolutely over the moon. The car was back. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. We all took it on a spin with the boys, and the next day I decided to drive it into work. Now, if you did watch last video, like I've been saying, you need to go check it out because we spoke about a battery recharging problem. Now, it seems like when you hold a multimeter on the battery, you notice the voltage actually dropping, not staying charged up. So it seems like the alternator was not doing its job with recharging the battery. This was an issue. Obviously, with the car not starting, we couldn't actually check to see what the problem was. So now we've got the car running again, I decided to take it into work the next day to show people and maybe have a look at the alternator. And this is where we encountered the next problem. Oh no! So, I'm at work and we got to fix the coolant leak. It literally went everywhere this morning. I've just rolled it in to the front of our little workshop at work basically, and yeah, it's gone everywhere. So I've managed to basically get another bit of hose, cut it to the right size, give or take, and clamp it on. The only issue is that the diameter of this hose is a bit bigger than the old one, but I'm thinking it's quite soft rubber. It will probably, hopefully, clamp down enough to get it sorted. So wish me luck, let's get it in. Luckily, that new bit of hose fit absolutely fine, and with the clamp crushing it down to the right size, there was no water leaks after. We ran it up to temperature, topped it up with some water and coolant, and she was all good. And I was hoping that was going to be the last of the problems. It only gets better. Later on that day, I went out to the car after I finished work and it didn't start again. Now at this point, I was furious. I was certain that the grounding problem fixed everything and that the car was ready to go and up and running. All we needed to do was basically change the alternator. But now we're back to square one. We've taken a step back yet again. I was gutted, and now even worse, the car is stuck at work. Now, when I was trying to find the initial problem, I did fire the parts cannon a little bit, and I ordered 2 new ignition coils and a new crankshaft position sensor, because to me, those were the 2 main indicating factors why the car may not have been getting spark. Now, because this issue has now happened again, and the ground clearly isn't the fix for it, I decided to start fitting all those new parts in my work car park, praying and hoping it's going to fix the problem. Now that brings us back to here today. The car is at work. The new ignition coils and the new crankshaft position sensor did not fix the problem. I have absolutely no idea why the car will not start and why it's so intermittent. The only thing I have noticed that's the common denominator between every single time it does start and doesn't is low battery voltage. Now, because those batteries have been not charging back up in the car, when I drove it to work and back, I actually had jump leads on another battery to give it enough juice to actually function and drive. Now, maybe when I was left it in the car park and I disconnected the battery cables, the battery that was in there had just drained with the car sitting there with all the little bits and bobs that are still using electricity with the car out in the car park locked. Maybe it's drained it enough that it's kind of somehow reset the security immobiliser, and maybe that's why it won't start. But we've done all the hard resets with holding the cables together on the battery terminals, joining them and trying to drain all the modules. And I've also locked it, unlocked it, span around in a circle, clapped 3 times and sing Happy Mary, praise the Lord Jesus. And it's still not starting. So I have got no idea what's going on with it. Now, I can imagine a lot of you guys are still probably scratching your head and wondering why a kid that drives a Skoda Fabia VRS on an air ride has gone and got a 1994 Daimler. It makes no sense, but there is a story behind this car that I want to share with you guys today. Now, let's rewind the clock all the way back to 1993. The Daimlers are the top of the range of the Jaguar market. They've released the 66 for the last 10, 15, 20 years, and it is a sellout car. Now, my granddad, his brother, he went and bought one straight out the factory, brand new, and that is the one that I now have today. This car has passed down the family tree and it's landed with myself, which I absolutely cannot believe. And this opportunity has come from a wonderful family member that has donated this car and given it to me for free. Now, obviously, for someone my age, an opportunity like this is absolutely a no-brainer, which is what I was saying in the last video. I've been given this car as an opportunity, and I'm not going to pass up on that. This is my shot. This is my time to give it everything, and I'm determined to get that car back on the road and back to its former glory. The car was sold out of the family many years ago and actually underwent a complete restoration with all the paperwork in here as well. So all being well, I haven't put it up in the air yet, but I think the underbody rust side of things is going to be pretty good. Now, the car was then brought back into the family because they wanted to keep the number plate and the car back in the family. Now, the car has been sitting in a field for the last 10 years. It was only brought back out the field because the number plate was going to get taken off the car and put onto another family member's car to keep in the family name. Now, with UK road law, if you want to transfer a number plate from one car to another, both cars have to be taxed, MOT'd and insured to be on the road. It's ridiculous. So that Daimler had to get taxed, insured and MOT'd before the plate could be taken off that car and onto the new one. So that's when it was dug back out the field after 10 long years, taken to the MOT centre, all the little bits and bobs fixed, and then the plate could have been transferred over and the car left to me. When the car was taken for the MOT, it ran absolutely fine. As it would. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's an old car. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it doesn't. And now I've got it. Sod's law, it's now not working. But it does seem like the issue is very intermittent and not the end of the world, especially the alternator problem. If it is just an alternator that's not recharging the battery, I really don't think it's the end of the world. But when I do get it started, I've got 4 new tyres that are going to be going on. We're going to fix that alternator and I'm going to enjoy it all over summer. The value of this car is obviously significant. And after summer, me and Ella are really going to have a really big thought about what we want to do with that car. Because to me and to her, that's nearly a house deposit on wheels. But we're going to have to think. I want to let you guys know in the comments as well. What do you think I should do with it? All my mates are saying straight pipe bags and take it to Players Classic next year. But I really don't know. I don't know if I want to touch it. It's such an elegant car. It's the type of car that you want to keep completely factory standard to keep the value. Let me know what you guys think about the story. If you like it, if you do rate it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please press that subscribe button because I'm going to document this full story of getting this car from where it is, a barn find, all the way to showroom condition, brand new as it should be. If you did enjoy this video, please smash that subscribe button, please press the like button and share this to everyone that you think is going to be interested in a V12 Daimler 66. Yeah, sick. See you later. Bye.